We're looking at something different and I had to change up the background in this episode of Airsoftology Reviews. That's right, it's a little different because I'm here at EVIC and they actually have a really cool background. I had to steal the studio here for a little bit just to get some filming in to show something new for you guys. And this is something we teased in the SHOT Show videos. In fact, if you saw my walkthrough of the EVIC booth and even some stuff I've shot of G&P when I've been in Taiwan at some of the shows, this is the Transformer M4 by G&P, and it is truly something new in airsoft. And we're going to talk about all the externals and the internals, both of which are pretty impressive. And we're going to jump on the outside first. Okay, so in the case, and by the way, I'll explain the case and the whole system. This is the Transformer M4 system. This is very unique the way it works. It takes the M4 platform and kind of twists it around. So looking at the system, now the case is separate. I know you guys are gonna ask, like, oh my gosh, does it come in the case? Case is extra, they're coming soon. So depending on when you're watching this video, the case may or may not be available. They're finalizing it right now. You can buy this in a bunch of different configurations with one of these barrels or two, and we'll get to all the different configs here toward the end. So first off, you start off with this base system. It comes with the Strike Industries Viper CQB stock on it and the Strike Industries grip on it. Those are the two grips and the stock, kind of a cool modern design. It is multi-position adjustable. You can go in and out on that and of course set it in between. Quick detach springs, quick detach sling attachment points here on the side, or the good old fashioned one right here. No sling plates, so you're definitely going to use that right there on the back, although you can swap in a sling plate if that's what you're into. Moving on, full metal upper receiver and metal lower receiver. So we got metal here and here, a metal trigger, polymer fire selector. It is not ambi, it's just on the one side. And then a polymer charging handle of all things. In fact, one of the few airsoft guns I know that is going with a polymer charging handle, although it's oversized, real big, lets you get that door open to adjust the hop up. We're gonna talk about the hop up in a second because the hop up is not in here. Usually when I talk about like a receiver, a body like this with the mech box installed, you would have the hop up. I can open the door and show you, but it's not. It's actually part of this other system. It's kind of cool. So let me finish this up. We'll get to that in a second. So metal rail here on the top, flip up front and rear sights. Of course, rear sights here in the back. Polymer on this, kind of a adjustable aperture. You can go from the small hole to the big hole, which is your aperture there. And of course, flips up, locks into place, and you can just slap it back down. Front sights on the front part there. On this is G&P Training Division. This has inside the i5 mech box, which we're going to talk about in the internals. It's got some really cool stuff going on. But to incorporate with on the outside, you do have ambidextrous magazine release here on that, so you can actually use lefty or righty. But no ambi bolt catch because the bolt just, you know, like I said, just it's kind of the fake one to open up for hop-up adjustments. Aside from that, on externals, rounding it all out, you do have the motor adjustment screw here on it. You know, kind of a standard one, flat head, motor plate at the bottom, and all the usual stuff. Kind of like a one-piece receiver here with the trigger guard, so it's actually in place. It's got some cutouts and stuff, but it's not removable. It's actually all kind of one big thing. Overall, a very premium receiver. A lot of details on it. G&P logo on this one side and a little bit of the training markings on the other. Not much by way of markings on this. It does have one little marking right here that says QD, and we're going to talk about that because we're going to move into the front half of this gun. That's right, you get two different versions. This is kind of like the big kind of cutter style, as they call it, and you also have a Rainier Arms front brake. So if you don't like this big flat disc style, they have two different ones. Key mod front end, it's got like an open smooth area here. These are mil-spec key mods. It's all gonna be CNC machine, and QD attachment points here on both sides, front and back here and there. So you've got all the spots to put the sling if you want it. But not just key mod, they give you some rail space here, a little bit on the top, on the front. This continues on as it mates up here. And we're gonna show how it all mates up in a second. A little bit of rail space in the front where your front sight does go, this included. A little rail space here at the bottom, as well as on the sides here in the front for lights and lasers. So if you don't wanna make that investment in the key mod actual segments, you don't have to worry. Then the other marking, this little QD here, because that means these pieces are going to mate together. So this is what's cool right here, right? This is the two piece. This is what makes the Transformer so neat. You can interchange this 8-inch with a 12-inch. Right now they have both links in the two different designs. Actually, you can purchase them just with this, or the kit of both. So we're gonna start with the short one here. I'm gonna show you how to put it on. You would line it here in the top, so a little blue piece up. You take it like that. You push it right down. You lock it all the way in, and then two full turns. One, and then that, and then boom, you're locked into place. Now you have the front end. Shorty for CQB action. When you're ready to go, it's a little retention pin. You just push it up, slide it out, 1, 2 turns, lift it up. Now we can go for the longer one. This is it. This is all real time. Make sure that's lined up with the pin. Again, it's right there. Just gonna take it, drop it down. 1, 2, locked into place. Now I have a long gun. It is really that fast. You are good to go. Air seal is good. It uses that AUG style, like I said, hop up. So once you open the door, now we've got that hop up there. I can show you guys how to adjust it. It's right there. So you can go from a longer gun, something outdoor. You want a little bit longer barrel on it, and you can switch down to a shorter one for CQB action. Of course, longer barrel, shorter barrel will affect the FPS a little bit. On average, you're looking at high 300s on this, so it does float around that 380 mark, give or take. You go to the shorter barrel, it should drop a few FPS. Longer barrel is going to raise that back up. And because you can get it 14 millimeter counterclockwise, by the way, on this. So if you guys want to change out the muzzle brake, put a suppressor on it, do whatever, you can do all that as well. Under the hood is the i5 mech box. So inside, this is the new G&P. It has the electronic trigger system, programmable burst, 3-round, 9-round. You can do that. You can do semi and full auto. It's all programmable internally. Also has a quick change spring system. And this is kind of a pseudo, kind of like in between, like where you can pop it out the back, which is super easy without having to take it out, but you can still get to it. It's actually one small screw. You actually pop the upper receiver off, and you can access the top of the mech box. You can actually get in there and make the spring adjustment. You still do have to take the buffer tube off, but you don't have to take the mech box out of the lower receiver. So that is my way of counting a quick change spring system, is where you don't have to take it out, because honestly, it's just one extra step. You don't have to open the mech box, which is nice if you guys aren't comfortable with it, but having to take it out and take the motor out and all the grip and all that, still a lot of work. Quick change for me is if I can leave it in there, maybe just take 1 or 2 pieces off, but I don't have to take it out of here, then I'm a happy guy. Of course, that allows you to make those power changes as well. So you can make power adjustment for length, a little bit minute there. You can actually change the inner barrel. It's standard AEG inner barrel on this, so you'll be able to swap that out for whatever you want. Or if you guys want to go, you know, something like a tight bore in here, you can do it. You can put a suppressor, you can go really long for like a DMR setup. And then of course that quick change springs, you can adjust the power up and down as well. Also, the teardown is pretty cool. And by the way, if you guys notice, this is the M-LOK front end. So the longer one here is the M-LOK on this. The shorter one has the key mod, so you can have both options too. What's cool about the teardown, and this kind of somewhat into internals and externals, a little bit both, is everything works, you know, you get 2 different hop-ups, so you can like different bucking. So if you want a harder bucking, let's say, in one and a softer in the other, so you're playing in different temperatures, things like that. Like I said, different tight bore barrels, wide bore if you guys are doing something that route. Also, it allows for easy transport, because now you've broke this thing down into this small little package. You don't have to have a really long case, and that's where this case comes in too. Case, like I said, it's not out quite yet. It'll be coming soon. Takes standard M4 magazines as well. If you guys are gonna ask about that in the gun, you do get one included with the gun. It's a mid-cap polymer made, but you can do standard high caps, no problem. They're gonna fit and feed in here. Pretty much every major brand's gonna work inside of this and not have any fitting or feeding issues. So that's it, the Transform M4, the coolest thing I've seen come in airsoft in a long time. True innovation, allows you to really, truly change your gun up and do something different with it. I think it's really neat. I think you're gonna see more rail options coming with this platform, and that's cool too. So you can make the investment in the base system with the one, if you wanna go like more affordable. It's right around the $400 price point for a single barrel setup with the way it's configured right now. And then you can always down the road add different length ones. If you wanna go short, long, DMR, now you don't have to choose. Do I want a DMR? Do I want a CQB gun? You can have it all out of one platform and not break the bank. If you want the kit, like as you see here, right now they're on pre-order, should be on final order as well, for around $525, give or take a little bit, depending on where you are on the site. Of course, I have a link for all the pricing down there below if you guys want to like check out current pricing on it, so you can actually get the 2 to get things going. Remember, you do get that high-end mech box, you get the high torque motor, you get the i5 mech box, programmable trigger, MOSFET inside burst mode, all the modern features you get of a gun, a really well-built receiver upper and lower, and 1 or 2 modular front ends, depending on the style. Like I said, the price floats either a little below, a little above $400, and then for the 2 setup around that $500 mark. So it is a premium gun. If that's going to be the negative I'm going to talk about here, it's that. That you will have to pay for something cool like this, but I think the market for this is going to be it. I mean, you're not going to get really cool innovation in something in that $200 price point. This is definitely high end. You know, we're not looking at putting an inexpensive mech box inside of a gun like this to try to keep the cost down. I mean, this is definitely on that premium end, but I know some of you guys are gonna be like, oh man, Jonathan, it's always so expensive, but think about it. You're getting 2 or even 3 guns in one, depending, and kind of a future-proof system. And then, of course, when this comes out, I'll have pricing. I'll add this down below the actual case once it's finalized and released. So you guys want to do the whole cool case, which I think is the coolest part. You know, everything just kind of fits in here, and you kind of have this whole like Jason Bourne kind of thing going on. You crack it open, and super cool. Like everybody at the field's gonna be like, "What are you running?" And you're like assembling your gun on site, like you see the guys in the movies do. I think that's just. It's kind of the cool factor too. But anyway, I want to know what you guys think about the Transformer series. Is this cool? Is this innovation? Do you like it? Or do you think it's just a little too different? You know, it's not really, the innovation isn't needed. I don't know. Let me know. I think it's super cool. I enjoy it. I kind of want a system like this because it allows me to have one gun that does it all. But I want to know what you guys think. Let me know in the comment section below. Well, guys, that's it. As always, thank you for hanging out here. And until next video, go out, play some airsoft, have some fun. But no matter what you do, call your freaking hits.